Senator for Kakamega, welcome to the Senate.
Honorable members, we want to commence the Committee of Whole, which is sitting in consideration of the President's Memoranda on the Conflict of Interest Bill, National Assembly's Bill number 12 of 2023. Honorable Senators, please resume your seats and maintain silence so we can proceed on with the Committee of Whole. Senator Chute, you cannot be holding a meeting in Senate. Senator Chute, you cannot be holding a meeting when the Committee of Whole is happening. Can you resume your seat? Senator Eddy, please resume your seat. Yesterday, these considerations were made by Senate, but due to quorum matters, Senate was adjourned, so we are resuming from clause number 16, and I want to let the clerk call it.
President's recommendation on clause 16.
I propose the question that the President's recommendation on clause 16 be approved. Chairperson, Standing Committee on Justice, Legal Affairs and Human Rights Committee, please take the floor.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. The recommendation under this particular clause, Madam Chair, in the original bill and in the reservation was to include from among those prohibited relatives of the public officer against receiving of gifts or favors from any person who would be trading or transacting with the authority or the entity in issue. And Madam Speaker, Madam Chair, the committee observed that the impact of this proposal is to expand the scope of those who are prohibited from receiving those gifts to include members and relatives of public officers. And I wish that we take it as provided for in the order paper. I thank you, Madam Chair.
I put the question that the President's recommendation on clause 16 be approved, division at the end. Next.
President's recommendation on clause 17.
I propose the question that the President's recommendation on clause 17 be approved, Chairperson, Standing Committee on Justice, Legal Affairs and Human Rights Committee.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The particular reservation on this clause was to ensure that the provision includes a provision on maintenance of a gift register by an entity and further an inclusion of a donation register. Madam Chair, the effect of this is to ensure that the entity relevant, in this case the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission, is able to track the donations that an institution receives from the public or a public officer receives and discloses them to the institution. And this would mean that the extension of such disclosed gifts or donations are utilized for public use. This also will ensure that we enhance the fight against corruption. The committee did note that the effect of this reservation is to ensure that the fight against corruption is extended to the utilization of resources coming from public donations or gifts that public officers have disclosed to their institution. I thank you, Madam Chair.
I have seen some senators want to comment on this specific clause. Senator Chiradike, are you interested? It's the next one. Senator Mohammed Faki is not here, so we can proceed.
With the question.
I put the question that the President's recommendation on Clause 17 be approved, division at the end.
President's recommendation on Clause 18.
I propose the question that the President's recommendation on Clause 18 be approved. Chairperson J. Lack.
Madam Chair, the effect of the proposed reservation is to ensure that the amendment expands the scope of the prohibition, similar to the one that we've just dealt with, but in this case, with regards to complementary treatment, to include members of family of public officers, and also their relatives who are covered in the provisions of the law that is being proposed. And this will ensure that a public officer may not knowingly or unknowingly benefit even from complementary treatments that he or members of his family have achieved courtesy of the office that such a person holds. Madam Chair, I propose that we progress with it as it's been provided for in the order paper. And I thank you.
Thank you, Chair. Senator Chiradike, do you have a comment on this specific clause as proposed by the Chair? You can proceed. And you limit your comments to 3 minutes so that
Chair,
you can
well
move.
guided. Chairperson, I'm surprised because the
Person,
report of...
resume your seat, please.
Yes. Just sit here. Don't go far. Chair, with all due respect, I have the committee report. So I don't know what the chair wants to tell us, because in their own report they didn't concur with this provision, which you are a member of JAILA. Chair, in my observation on this one, clause number 18, the definition of family is too vague and broad. Because in terms of complementary... No, Chair, can you protect me?
Majority Leader, can you allow
why
the
is
Honorable
the
Senator to
Cheruiyot
proceed?
Restless? Chair, what I wanted to say is very simple. Chair, I'm saying something different. It is complementary. We were in clause 18. Chair, what we are saying... No, Chair, they are lying.
Have you used
Chair,
a language that is different from the parliamentary language?
No, Chair, I didn't abuse you.
You have to withdraw. Can you withdraw the use of Kalenjin language?
Chair, I withdraw and apologize, but I did not abuse you.
Okay,
he is making it sensational.
Thank
Chair, can you protect me?
Clarification, you
Can
can
you
proceed.
protect me?
But don't
Chair,
repeat yourself from what you said yesterday.
Chair, I'm not repeating, Chair. The issue of clause number 18 on the issue of complementary is we agree that this was too vague and broad. Even if you look at the report of the committee, Chair,
There is a point of clarification from the chair who has just read out explanation.
I had listened to the chair.
Just take your seat.
Is
then
it
he
point
can,
of order or point of clarification?
It's a point of clarification, so let him proceed. Chair, proceed.
Madam Chair, just wanted to clarify to my colleague Senator Chirargei that clause 2, which we dealt with yesterday, made reference to this particular definition of what family or relative is, and we dealt with that issue to the extent that clause 18 makes reference to that. I did submit and directed that we go as per the report that has already been placed in the order paper. There is nothing outside this report that I've said. And that clause 2 was dealt with yesterday on the definition that the committee, the position that the committee took. Thank you.
Can you, Senator Chaladige, please be guided accordingly so that you have the understanding that the report stands as it is.
Chair, that is why.
Give him the mic, please.
Chair, in 30 seconds, then I request the chair so that we don't need to seek further clarification to indicate, because when he reads, he says as per the order paper or as per the committee's report, so that there is that clarity. But the position of the committee, I agree. So let him be clear, say as per the committee reports, or as chair, I'm speaking with a lot of experience in this committee. Thank you, Chair.
Chair Jailak, I think you have been enriched on how to make your presentations when you have the order paper and a report. Can you distinguish each document you are referring to? We can then proceed on. I put the question that the President's recommendation on clause 18 be approved, division at the end. Next.
President's recommendation on clause 20.
I propose the question that the President's recommendation on clause 20 be approved. Chairperson, Standing Committee on Justice, Legal Affairs and Human Rights Committee, Senator.
Thank you,
Sige.
Madam Chair. The effect of clause number 20, Madam Chair, is that the recommendation seeks to prohibit members of the public officers from acquiring interest in partnership, private companies, or any other legal entity that is a party to a contract with the reporting entity. And the committee, in its observation, noted that this proposal widens the clause to prohibit public officers from acquiring interest in companies contracting with the reporting entity. And this will be because of ensuring that we support and enhance the fight against corruption. And the company that they are prohibited from acquiring interest is not only their own, other companies that in any way could be dealing with the entity that is relevant in the circumstances. And Madam Chair, I wish to ask that we go as per the report of the committee that was tabled on the 12th of June 2025. Thank you.
I put the question that the President's recommendation on clause 20 be approved, division at the end. Next.
President's recommendation on clause 30.
I propose the question that the President's recommendation on clause 30 be approved. Chairperson Jailak, please.
Thank you,
proceed.
Madam Chair. The proposal under clause 30 is to require a public officer to recuse themselves from any discussion, decision, or debate or a vote on a subject matter in respect of which such public officer would be conflicted in the end. And the committee observed and concurred with the reservation, emphasizing the importance of aligning clause 11 and clause 30 to ensure consistency in the legislation, interpretation, and application, where a member is required to recuse themselves from being involved in such debate, discussion, or voting. Madam Chair, I propose that we go as per the report of the committee under clause 30. Thank you.
I put the question that the President's recommendation on clause 30 be approved, division at the end. Next.
President's recommendation on clause 31.
I propose the question that President's recommendation on clause 31 be approved. Chairperson Jailak.
Madam Chair, this was quite a straightforward reservation that required that under clause 30.
President's recommendation on clause 35.
I propose the question that the President's recommendation on clause 35 be approved. Chairperson Jailak, proceed.
Madam Chair, this is also a straightforward, clear reservation that required to embolden the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission to ensure that in their reporting there is ascertainment of completeness and correctness of declarations of assets by members of the by public officers, and this clause was to ensure the completeness of that particular record for purposes of reporting, and it proposed to ensure that the word completeness and correctness be included in the text of clause 35. This, the committee, Madam Chair, concurred with the reservation and approved that inclusion. Thank you, Madam Chair.
I put the question that the President's recommendation on clause 35 be approved. Division at the end. That's the end of the considerations that were before the Committee of the Whole. And now we'll proceed on to reporting the progress. I now call upon the mover to proceed and report on the progress.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I beg to move that, pursuant to Standing Order 153, I beg to move that the Committee of the Whole do report to the Senate its consideration of the President's memoranda on the Conflict of Interest Bill, National Assembly Bills number 12 of 2023, and seek leave to sit again tomorrow.
I put the question that the Committee of the Whole do report to the Senate the consideration of the President's memorandum on the Conflict of Interest Bill, National Assembly Bills number 12 of 2023, and seek leave to sit again tomorrow. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as are of contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Honorable Senators, Mr. Speaker.
Very good. Very good. The elder
Point of order, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Majority Leader.
Did you notice, Senator Eddie Okech, that when you were taking the reins of the House, he was actually seated, and even when you're buying, Mr. Speaker, is that really in order?
Can you stand up and sit again? Stand and sit.
and bow to the speaker.
That's good.
Very good.
Honorable Senators, we are reporting progress on the Conflict of Interest Bill, National Assembly Bills number 12 of 2023. Chairperson.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to report that the Committee of the Whole has considered the President's memoranda on the Conflict of Interest Bill, National Assembly Bills number 12 of 2023, and seeks leave to sit again tomorrow.
Mover.
Mr. Speaker, I thank you. And Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that the House do agree with the committee in the said report, and I request the Honorable Senator Eddie Okech to second.
Senator Eddie Okech.
Chair, I second.
Okay. Honorable Senators, I propose the question that the House